Hello everyone, I'm Dahlia. I'm an artist and an art educator. Today we will be making a sculpture. What is a sculpture? A sculpture is a three-dimensional artwork. You can view this sculpture from all sides and you can walk all around it. You can look at it from the front, from the side, as well as the back. Let's take a look at the bronze sculpture in the National Gallery, Singapore. This bronze sculpture was made by Thai artist Chamraung Vichankhet in 1965. He titled it Group. Let's take a closer look at the details and visual elements. He used wavy lines and repeated them all around the sculpture. He used only one color, and this sculpture is rather symmetrical. Are you inspired? Do you have ideas what we can do today? Shall we start? To create your slotting sculpture, we need these materials ready. We can reuse any cardboard. For example, the board from the back of your drawing block and paint it later. You can also use colored cardboards. Can you see there's a thickness to it? You will need a pencil, a pair of big strong scissors to cut the cardboard with, glue, a metal ruler, and an unused small box. These ones are optional, a pen knife, a cutting mat, and a roll of masking tape. After constructing the sculpture, you may want to paint it, so let's prepare paints and brushes too. We need a set of 3 shapes of the same length like this. You can fit them all on 1A4 paper with interlocking shapes like this, or draw out individual shapes on your larger cardboard. Remember the artist used wavy lines? You can design a sculpture that has wavy lines too. Since we have a wavy one here, shall we create a sculpture with zigzag lines? Here we have a freehand drawn irregularly shaped sculpture. Let's try a regular zigzag pattern for our next one. Cut a rectangle so that we can use it to trace our zigzag pattern like this. Each shape needs a center line, so draw that line first. Then repeat tracing the rectangle along the center line. Here I use a pen knife to cut the first shape out. If you cannot use a pen knife, I will show you an easy way to cut using a pair of scissors in a while. You can use the first shape to trace out the second and third shape separately. To save a bit of time cutting, you could use this zigzag edge for your second shape. Align and trace the shape out. Don't forget to trace and mark the center line as well. Before you cut these out completely, draw the slotting lines. Each line should be the thickness of your cardboard. For the first shape, draw a line bottom up and stop halfway. For the second shape, draw a line from the top down and stop halfway. You can cut them slightly longer so that they overlap. On the second shape, draw a short line at the bottom and align it with this long line down on the third shape. Cut the slotting lines last. I cut the first shape with a pen knife and will now show you a fast way to cut using a pair of scissors. We cut these straight lines only after we finish cutting the overall shapes. You may use a pair of scissors to cut it or use a penknife and metal ruler on the mat. Remember to cut out 2 lines, which is the same thickness of your cardboard. If you cut only 1 line, the sculpture may not be able to spread out and stand properly. We are now ready to assemble. First, ensure that all 3 shapes are cut straight at the bottom for stability. Now slot the first and second shapes together. Then slot the third one carefully in between the 2 flaps. Move the slot slightly to make sure the sculpture is stable and able to stand by its own. There you go, it's almost done. We can reuse a box that you don't need anymore for its base. Take the shapes apart if you want to paint it. If your sculpture keeps folding flat and collapsing, cut your slots wider. It should stand better after that. As you can see, this thickness of paper is rather flimsy. Cardboard is a lot sturdier for this slotting sculpture. You can also use masking tape to secure certain areas. They are done. Here we have a wavy slot sculpture in warm colors and a zigzag one painted in cool colors. You can add white glue at the bottom of your work to secure it on the base. I hope you had a great time making that slotting sculpture. See you again next time at the National Gallery.